Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us so much. I'm your host, plastic surgeon Dr. Bruce Hermann. With me today is not Sarah. Unfortunately, Sarah has the flu and is sick at home. We wish her well, but my daughter Danica is standing in for Sarah today, which I think is great because we're going to be talking about young people topics.
Yeah.
So, also as always in the box, we got Travis. How you doing, buddy?
Yo, how's it going?
Very good. You having a good Friday?
Yes, I am having a really
Right
good Friday.
on.
And now we got Big Herman and we have Little Herman on the show. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, she's not a stranger to the studio. She does come up here quite a bit, and I know you were on Jeff's show a little while ago. How was that? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was super fun. I mean, I was a little nervous at first, but just as it started going, I just kind of got into the flow, and it got a lot better.
Like when it first starts, you're just kind of like butterflies.
Yeah, you're just kind of tense.
Right, but then you just realize it's just having a conversation, just like anything else. Yeah, I thought you did really, really good on that. And,
well, thanks.
And also, I know you have a lot of social media. You want to share what you're doing these days on social media?
Well, on social media, I mostly just do video games, and I also do anime stuff, edits, all that. Just my life.
I told Travis, I think, at some point about how you build up this huge social media account, and then they figured out that you were too young to be live streaming, and they they banned you.
It was really sad.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's the way the game goes.
I know. Well, pretty soon she'll be old enough she can be legit.
Absolutely.
But no, I've been very impressed with your ability to. Well, just to be on camera, I mean, you're kind of a natural at it. You do very good. So
thanks.
Yeah.
You too.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, we're going to jump into our segments today, and I'm so glad you're here because I thought since you're going to be here, we're going to talk about some topics that concern teens because you are a teen, right?
Yes.
How old are you, 18 now?
13.
Oh, 13, okay. Talk about teens, Gen Z, and those sort of things. So the first one I want to start talking about is Gen Z's view on plastic surgery. Now, for those who don't know, Gen Z is people born in the years roughly 1997 to 2012. So you're kind of at the tail end of it. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
So there are definitely some people in Gen Z a little bit older than you. And so I'm going to have some questions for you, but I'm going to lay some groundwork here. So,
all right.
So we've seen a big boom in both plastic surgery and aesthetic procedures since the pandemic. That's been well established. But what's been really interesting is that certain groups have seen bigger increases in interest in these things. And Gen Z is actually the one with kind of the biggest increase of people looking for whether it be surgery or cosmetic type procedures. And a lot of people found that to be a little surprising because Gen Z kind of has this reputation of really accepting and
be you.
Be you, right. And so maybe it's a little surprising to learn that Gen Z really has actually kind of been characterized as the generation most open to plastic surgery.
Really?
Would you have thought that, being
Honestly,
a young person?
I wouldn't have thought just because in Gen Z, it's just a lot of your body's beautiful and no matter what.
Right.
So seeing people seeing that Gen Z is the most known thing for
most
plastic.
interested,
in plastic surgery.
Yeah.
It just seems kind of odd because not saying it's hypocritical, but
I will say that I have seen this personally. I mean, you see these articles that say this, and I have seen it in my practice that we get a lot of really younger people in the office these days. So I would kind of agree with that. And so the question kind of pops up of, okay, well, why is this? And I have an idea. What do you think? Why do you think that Gen Z might really be interested in looking their best?
Well, because social media is
boom. That's all you gotta say. It's social media. I think that. I mean, what do you think, Travis? Do you think social media played a big part in this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Gen Z, millennials, they may have kind of introduced the trend of social media, Facebook, MySpace.
No, I'm gonna have to back up a little bit there because I think it was actually Gen X that introduced social media. But go ahead. I didn't mean to.
So?
I didn't mean to generation shame.
No, at all. No, not at all. But I think it reached a really big height with the millennials and then the Gen Xers. I'm sorry, Gen Zers.
Yeah, they just exploded.
Yeah, they took it to another level.
Yeah.
So
sure. I do agree with that, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in a later segment. And so I was going to talk about what procedures and treatments they're getting, right? Because obviously Gen Z people aren't coming in and getting facelifts. I mean, that would make no sense. Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of Gen Z come in to get Botox. Now, that might be a little odd for some people who think that Botox really is for older people who already have wrinkles, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think.
Right. And so the reason that Gen Z people are doing it, and this actually is very, very smart, is if you start using these products when you're younger, so say you're 20s. Now, I know that's a little older than you, but like some of the older Gen Zs are in their 20s. And if you start using products like Botox that prevents you from having wrinkles, like you never get wrinkles.
Really?
Like ever. Yeah, you can basically keep your face wrinkle-free for really your entire life if you wanted, versus somebody who might come in at 50 years old and already has the wrinkles. It's hard to erase them.
Well, I'm set for life with you, so that's good.
Yeah, you're a little young for Botox yet, but one day.
One day.
So Botox is really popular. Another one, and let me see if you agree with this one, is the fill. Are you familiar with fillers? Do you know what a filler
That
is?
makes like your lips bigger, right?
That's one thing it can do, yeah.
All my friends steal my lip plumper all the time. Like.
So let me get so you and your friends have like what is like something that goes on your lips?
Yeah,
to plump your
basically
lips?
I have this lip gloss and it's like lip plumper and it has some like I think it's like allergy thing in it, you know, where it kind of like
makes your lips swell.
Yeah. I don't know how to really
That's really
explain it.
interesting, right? I mean, that
is.
like kids at her
different.
age, it's like they're almost like they're doing what lip filler does, but without the filler. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you see that on social media, and it's an attractive look if done correctly. There are some bad filler.
Like too much.
Yeah, too much is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be in moderation. The other thing that's really popular with Gen Zs actually is breast surgery. Like breast augmentations are really high in that group. And breast lifts, surprisingly, and I have seen that too in my practice. And then finally, like facial treatments. So like lasers, you like the lasers Mom and I get?
Oh yeah.
Gen Zs actually are really using those a lot. And once again, it's not necessarily about trying to correct issues, but
preventing them.
But exactly right. Preventing them and also bringing out like the best, like getting like that best glow for your skin.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's really kind of interesting when you look at that Gen Z really kind of has embraced plastic surgery and aesthetic treatments, and so as a plastic surgeon, like there's a couple things that I would say about this. I mean, one, you definitely don't want to take it to an extreme at a young age.
Definitely.
I think it's totally fine if like 20-year-olds want to get Botox, which sounds crazy, and then 10 years ago that may have been a crazy thought. But it does help, Surgery, the only thing about getting surgery at that age group is if you're female and you get surgery at that age group and then you have pregnancy, you have kids, it does change your body. So you potentially would have to have a repeat surgery. So in the past, a lot of people would wait till after kids to get plastic surgery. Not always, but sometimes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so that's just something to think about. And I always console my patients on that when they're younger about, hey, just be aware that when you decide to have kids, that pregnancy, can change that. And then things like the facial treatments are great. Anything that's preventative, that's going to prevent your skin from aging is like a good thing. I think personally, as long as you're not like obsessed with it.
It's just like surgery and skincare, like they're pretty similar if you really think about it.
Yeah, the surgery definitely has a little bit more involvement.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more, you have to like think about and plan for. So I wanted to ask you, and I know you did some homework on this, and so I'm not putting you on the spot, but what are your thoughts when you see, maybe you're on social media and you see like an influencer saying that, hey, I'm gonna have plastic surgery or I'm gonna have like this cosmetic treatment. What do you, as in your age group, which I know you're Gen Z or you're a little in the younger, what do you think? What does that mean to you? Anything?
Well, I think plastic surgery as a whole is, it's not a good thing, but it's not a bad thing either.
Right, it can be either or.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
It just matters what you do. And if you do it in too much, then it kind of gets weird. But I think if you're just doing it and it makes you happy and makes you more confident, then go for it.
I think that's really good.
That's
actually.
super good advice.
That's a really good answer.
She basically said, do it in moderation.
Right.
And do it in moderation and
that's really good.
And
I want to say I didn't tell her to say that. I was just going to let her say what she wants. Now I wanted you to ask your friends what they thought, because so Danica's friends come over to the house all the time. They're super cool. I like them all. But I just wondered what their thoughts were. Now, you did ask them, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so do you want to just say, so this is other Gen Z, younger Gen Zs. What did they say about plastic surgery? answer.
Well, one of my friends named Kaylee said it's fine if it's in like smaller amounts, but too much is just bad. It's fine if it's in smaller amounts, but it can also be kind of bad for your mental health. Just to think that like you have to get surgery to be pretty, which
right,
you
if
don't.
like you're obsessing about it, which I agree, or if like you have like a body issue, like I agree with that. That's smart. Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
And then my other friend said it's good, just not in dramatic amounts. So a lot of them kind of
smart.
agree.
You have some
just,
smart friends, yeah.
Thanks.
Did you guys come up with these answers together?
No, I text them all individually.
Did you? Okay. All right. What else you got?
One of my friends said it's a great way to like boost your confidence, and it can enhance someone's natural beauty because, I mean, everyone's beautiful.
Wow. Okay. Good. Anything else? Or is that about wrapping up?
Some of my friends said this one was a little confusing. It said it can be interestingly morbid and fascinating at the same time.
So they're thinking more about maybe like the actual aspect of the surgery, not necessarily the outcome.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, like, I am actually impressed with you and your friends' answers. Like, those are actually good answers, right? In moderation, it's okay if it boosts your confidence, but don't take it to extremes. So, yeah, well, I appreciate your insight in that. So I just want to do like a quick recap on this segment. So we're talking about Gen Z and plastic surgery. So there's been this big boom in plastic surgery and treatments and cosmetics since the pandemic. Crazily enough, Gen Z has shown the biggest increase, and I've seen that in my practice. In fact, a lot of people find Gen Z to be the most kind of agreeable or kind of okay with plastic surgery in general. Things that they're doing, Botox really popular, facial treatments, also breast surgery has been very popular. And so I think that's very interesting to see that young people are kind of embracing plastic surgery in moderation. That's kind of a change from other generations in the past, and it's just kind of interesting how this trend will play out. So that's what we're talking about.